What's cracking, y'all? UFC 315 this Saturday. We got one terrible, terrible card here displayed in front of me. Humongous names such as Belal Muhammad, Valentina Shevchenko, and Jose Aldo in the big 2-5 are headlining this bad boy right here. Get ready to cough up that $80 because Dana's got to afford Jones versus Aspinall somehow. But what an abomination of a pay-per-view card we have right in front of me. I mean, they truly couldn't have put together a worse card if they tried. You know it's bad when we have not one, but two WMMA fights on the card that we have to pay for. You know what, though? Mediocre pay-per-view cards like this, that only means great fight nights from here on out. So I'm excited about that. So before I start to cry my eyes out, let's start to break it down. Fight 1. To open up the main card, we have Benoit Saint-Denis versus Kyle Prepolec, or however the hell you say his name. Plus 600 underdog. You are not winning this fight, brother. This is a short notice replacement fight for Prepolec. Joel Alvarez was supposed to be fighting Benoit Saint-Denis. That was going to be one hell of a fight, but it can't always be sunshine and rainbows here at the UFC. Prepolec hasn't fought in the UFC since September of 2019, but he is 4-1 outside of the organization. An interesting factoid about this fight: Prepolec has never been knocked out before in his 26-fight professional career. He does have 10 knockouts in his 18 wins and 14 total finishes in his 18 wins. That's a pretty high finish rate. I'm going to imagine that this fight ends in a finish one way or the other. Benoit Saint-Denis on a 2-fight losing streak, got knocked out against Dustin Poirier at UFC 299, and then had a doctor stoppage against Renato Moicano, who just fought for the belt, by the way, so not a terrible loss, I would imagine. Another fun factoid: both guys fought for belts after beating Benoit Saint-Denis. He might be the new gatekeeper for the belt. Who knows? Maybe if Kyle Prepolec wins this fight, he can go ahead and fight Islam Makhachev for free as well. Benoit Saint-Denis only has one decision win in the UFC, coming in 2021 at UFC 267. This almost guarantees a knockout in this fight, or a finish one way or the other. I'm going to lean toward knockout, but seeing as Prepolec's never been knocked out before, I'm going to go with him getting flatline KO'd in this one. I'm predicting a round 2 knockout on like a combination, couple hooks, and finish with an uppercut, and then ground and pound strikes to finish it up. I think Prepolec gets his first knockout loss in this one, and Benoit Saint-Denis, the hype train starts to build back up as to what it was before UFC 299. Next up, we have the fight of the night. Absolute banger. Both women are going to be swinging haymakers all over the place. We have Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. There's no chance this fight is finished within the distance. There's just no chance. The judges got to be locked in, maybe drink a couple energy drinks before, maybe get a couple monsters in their system, 0 sugar, of course, and be wide awake for this one because they're going to need it. This is going to be one hell of a pillow fight. Going to need judges taking notes and shit throughout this one, because this is going to be the nastiest split decision of all time. Natalia Silva on a 6-fight winning streak. Since entering the UFC, is on a 12-fight win streak in total. Her last loss was actually to the recently retired Marina Rodriguez 7.5 years ago in December of 2017. 7.5 years, that's a lot of decision wins. She has 2 finishes in the UFC. They were both back-to-back. They were both coming off of kick knockouts, but she's on a 3-fight decision streak ever since. Alexa Grasso coming off, obviously, the trilogy fight with the champion who's also fighting on this card, Valentina Shevchenko. She's trying to earn her fourth shot at her. Winner of this fight, most likely fighting the winner of the co-main event in this one. But Alexa Grasso, I mean, she just got kind of dominated by Valentina Shevchenko in this last fight at UFC 306. Spoiled the Mexican Heritage Night at the Sphere. In this one, I'm going to go with Natalia Silva by unanimous decision, 49-46, to earn herself a shot at Shevchenko or Fior, or however the hell you say her name. So excited for this one. Cannot wait to just watch both these women just swing away. One of them's going out cold in this one. Next up, we have Jose Aldo versus Ariel Helwani. I'm going to go with Helwani by podcast episode. Maybe he's going to throw a couple of slurs in there. I don't know, man. He gets a little bit freaky sometimes. In this battle of the Unks, Ariel Helwani on a 5-fight winning streak. Jose Aldo coming off dominant victory versus Mario Batista, absolutely flatlined him out cold. Ariel Helwani's 37, Jose Aldo's 38. Loser gets shipped off to the nearest Montreal nursing home. Maybe you get a head start on playing bingo or whatever you guys do now. But Jose Aldo coming off that split decision, I think robbery versus Mario Batista. Everyone flames Mario Batista for it. It's the funniest shit ever. But obviously, now because of that, Aldo's kind of stuck fighting the mid of the bantamweight division. He'll never fight for the belt again, let alone in the top 5 of the division. He's just going to fight these guys from 11 to 8 for the rest of however long he wants to keep going. With how much momentum Ariel Helwani has in this one, I have Jose Aldo winning 48-47. Kind of close decision, but it's like a close one where either guy could win. But I just think they'll give it to Aldo for robbing him versus Mario Batista. Co-main event, we have Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot, or however you say her name, for the Women's UFC World Flyweight Championship. Valentina's kind of trying to establish herself as the WMMA GOAT over Amanda Nunes. I think she's maybe 2 fights away from achieving that status. That's if Nunes doesn't come back, which is kind of looking like she is going to. The more I thought about this one, the more I'm thinking Valentina Shevchenko is kind of like the Volkanovski of WMMA. You know, lost her belt a couple years ago to a younger contender, but recently just won it back at an old age. Like, I think she's 37, so maybe we'll see Volk and Shevchenko go on secondary title runs for themselves here pretty quick. Manon Fiorot started out 0-1 professionally, but is on a 12-fight win streak since, including 7 wins in the UFC. She has 5 straight decision wins, all in the UFC, obviously. I think this has a pretty decent chance of becoming a very boring decision win for either women, but more specifically Manon Fiorot. Obviously, there has the potential to be some fireworks in this one. I think all provided by Shevchenko. Overall, I think I predict Valentina Shevchenko to retain her title here in Montreal. Not by decision win. I think she'll finish this one in the 4th round via TKO. Maybe head kick leading up to ground and pound. Maybe kind of a switch kick kind of thing going on. I'm just going to go, in general, head kick leading to ground and pound strikes to finish this one in the 4th round. Valentina Shevchenko retains her belt in Montreal. On to the main event of the evening. Belal, forget the name, Muhammad versus... Listen, kid. Let me tell you about Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena, 28 years old. I mean, the kid's on a 17-fight winning streak. How do you not give him the title shot? He has, obviously, that 17-fight winning streak. 7 wins in the UFC and 1 on the Contender Series, if you want to count that. But 5 out of the 7 fights in the UFC, he has finished the fight, including 4 finishes in round 1. He's a lethal boxer with very dangerous, long, extended combinations. Very tight high guard. Which obviously leads to maybe a little bit more takedown attempts from Belal Muhammad, but very, very, very crisp boxer. Like I said, the long combinations are a great thing. You know, you see Ilia throw these long combinations. The best kind of boxers in the UFC are guys who throw those long combinations with a good tight guard and have tremendous power in their fists. Easily the better striker between him and Belal. He's, in my opinion, the best striker at 170. I don't care about no Carlos Pradas. I don't care whoever you have to say. And pound for pound, he's one of the best boxers in the UFC today. He's proven to be able to handle the grappling heavy opponents. He just beat Gilbert Burns. Was able to stuff a couple takedowns in that fight, and when he was taken down, he was able to get out of it. So I have pretty good faith in him being able to maintain his stance on the feet in this fight, being able to just keep plodding forward, keep moving forward, and throwing those big nasty combinations all over the place. Maybe get some body shots in, get the body work going. On to the champion, Belal Muhammad. Recently won the belt. Well, not recently. He won it a year ago versus Leon Edwards. Kind of dominated him that fight. I thought it was 50-45. Maybe 49-46. No, I think it was 50-45. You know, it was like 10 decades ago, so it's hard to remember. But I just remember Leon getting dunked on his head. One of his best wins is the Sean Brady win, where he knocked him out. That's actually aging into a great win. Obviously, Sean Brady just dominated Leon Edwards in the past month. And he also beat Gilbert Burns to get the title shot, just like JDM did. But we all know he's kind of a decision merchant. Last knockout win was that Sean Brady knockout. You know, we don't know what direction this fight's going to go in. You know, is it going to be like both guys, I'm standing in the pocket, delivering big blows? Or is it going to be a Belal WrestleFest like it was in July of last year? But there's this video that came out recently of JDM allegedly putting Craig Jones to sleep. I don't know how real that thing is. Could be real, could not be real. I'm going to go with it's real just because I want JDM to win this fight, but you take this information how you will, depending on your opinion of the situation. In my opinion, I think this is going to be a great fight. I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. Even in the wrestling exchanges, I think that this is going to be entertaining either way. JDM's just that kind of guy. Every fight that he's in is very, very entertaining to watch. You know, that Gilbert Burns fight had the potential to be boring, and yet it wasn't. It's a great fight to go back and rewatch every time. My prediction in this fight, Belal Muhammad by spinning heel kick. Kidding. JDM by round 3 knockout. I'm going to go, getting very specific here. I'm going to go with a JDM right hook out of southpaw in round 3 on the back foot. So he's going to be backing up out of southpaw. So JDM's going to be backing up like this out of southpaw as Belal's coming in for the single leg. Right hook. Going to absolutely get him. And then I think it'll lead to ground and pound strikes after that. I'm getting very specific here. I've seen it before in my mind. I've seen it before. It's the legend of Jack Della Maddalena. But yeah, right hook out of southpaw on the back foot, evading a takedown from Belal Muhammad. I think he'll get him. And of course, Jack Della Maddalena winning the belt. What does that mean for Islam Makhachev? I think after Jack wins this fight, we will be getting the announcement of Ilia versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight championship of the world. And Islam Makhachev will be moving up to 170 to fight Jack Della Maddalena in Australia later this year. I know that completely spoils the fight of the decade, the fight of all time, the fight of a generation, Ilia versus Islam. I want that fight to happen. Okay, this is just my prediction. Okay, nothing ever happens the way we want it to. We all want Jones Aspinall, dude. We all want want Ilia versus Islam, dude. Neither are happening, bro. I'm telling you, neither are happening. Jones is going to retire after making Tom Aspinall wait 3 decades for his shot at him. And we're not getting Ilia versus Islam. I think regardless, we get the Ilia fight announcement right after this card ends. You know, I think we'll get a "What's up, fight fans?" kind of video out of Dana White instantly after. Because we need the main event for UFC 317 International Fight Week. And yeah, Jack JDM wins the belt, saves us all from Belal Muhammad's beautiful title reign that's lasted so many fights. You know, I mean, he's had the belt a year. You know, he had to have defended like maybe 3 times. JDM winning the belt. Shevchenko, you know, flying knee right to the chin to beat Fior. We have Alexa Grasso, absolute cannon of a right hand, just putting Silva right out cold. And we have Benoit Saint Denis, maybe heel hook by Kyle Prepolec. And Jose Aldo is just going to walk out of the arena. Okay, that's my breakdown for the greatest card of the year, UFC 315. You know, obviously so stacked. You know, who needs International Fight Week when we have Belal Muhammad fighting? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Love you. Don't forget to buy the pay-per-view.